Hi, it's Rachel with Storm again, and today she and I are going to go over loose leash walking. I know you mentioned that you want to work on healing with her, both on and off leash, which we will get to that next time Storm comes in. But first of all, to just go over basic leash manners, I want to introduce you and her to loose leash walking. So, this is when you take her out on the beach or out on a walk, when it's meant to exercise her, for her to enjoy herself. The healing is much more controlled, and you by no means want to take her for a 30-minute heal, but a 30-minute walk is perfectly fine. So, this is in comfortable areas where she is free to explore and that kind of thing. So, you have a great leash for it. The first step to loose leash walking is giving her the whole leash. So she has all of this room to walk around and explore. So it's not like Storm, come here. You know, obviously she can't enjoy herself too much if I am walking her on a leash like this, and any movement she makes is going to pull and she can't explore much. But with all of this room, she has plenty of room to walk around and explore. Now, to properly hold the leash, usually we have the dog on our left side, and that's just kind of standard. It's up to you, but I'll be going over everything from the left side. So you have the leash in your right hand, you put your thumb through the loop, and you make a fist. That way, if she does pull, it doesn't matter how hard she pulls. This is very comfortable. It doesn't hurt your hand at all. And also it is very secure, because no matter what she's doing, she can't get the leash out of your hand. And then you can use, Storm, come here, the other hand to collect any slack like this and walk around. So to train her to walk on a loose leash, we have two methods. The first is called the back method, and the second is what I call the reverse method. So, first one, when you're out walking, when you give her the whole leash like this, you can tell as soon as she starts to pull. So, for example, I'll show you the back method right now with her. She's at the end of the leash. She's not quite pulling, but she's back there. Well, not so much anymore. But what you do on your walk is, as soon as she starts pulling and this leash goes tight, come here, Storm. Come here. Alright, so she's walking off on her own. Plant your feet. Give Storm back. And she comes back to you, and you have some nice slack in your leash, and you can continue your walk. So you're walking, plant your feet, Storm back. And I know she's a little bit out of the camera there, but she turned towards me and took a couple steps to me. Storm back. Good girl. Good job. Alright, so that's what the move looks like. I'm going to walk her around a little bit so you can see what it will look like in an actual walk. So come on, Storm. Storm back. Good girl. Okay, so she's walking very nicely on the leash right now. She's really comfortable here. She's had a full day to play, and so the edge is kind of worn off of her. This is something that would be good to practice, like when you drop her off first thing in the morning. So the distance from the car to the office, practice your loose leash walking there. In loose leash walking, we usually don't use treats. The treat is that you get to continue your walk. So every time she pulls, you just plant your feet and say Storm back, and it gets her attention, and she comes back, and you get some nice slack in your leash like this. Alright, the second method is what I call the reverse method. Now what this is when she starts pulling, you turn 180 degrees around, and you give the leash just a little tug or a little jiggle and say Storm this way, and you go the other direction. Storm this way. Just like that. And so she has to turn around and then play keep up again to get up even with you. And so it sometimes gives you a little bit longer of a walk on a loose leash. So she's pulling right now, so I'm going to say, Storm, this way. And there we go. Got this nice loose leash. Storm, this way. This method is really useful if she's pulling to the side or lagging behind you, because you can just turn 180 degrees from wherever she is and stay this way and give her just a little jiggle of the leash. You don't need to yank on her. I know when a dog is pulling, often our first reaction is to pull back on her, but you don't want to do that because it'll make her feel restrained, and it might make her feel more frantic, like she has to fight against that pulling and, you know, overcome that extra pulling in order to get where she wants to go. So it works much better just to do the little jiggle of the leash in the reverse method, or just calling her back in the back method. Now, these are just a couple things to try. Now that you and Storm have both been exposed to these, what is really important is that you never let her get away with pulling anymore. We suggest that you practice by taking her for a walk for at least 20 to 30 minutes every day and never letting her pull. So it can take quite a while if you're always stopping and calling her back, or if you're changing directions. But after a while, you know, 20 to 30 minutes a day of her practicing this, she's going to learn proper leash manners, and that she's never supposed to pull when she's on a leash. She'll know that she has, you know, 6 feet to walk around and explore, and she doesn't need more than that. So I hope this helps. Practice this at home. Let me know how it goes. And next time, since we've done, you know, just basic leash walking, we'll move into healing on leash. This is Rachel and Storm, and we're working on loose leash walking.